Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Cameron Dunlap, and I am with the Language Access Services team at the Department of Children, Youth, and Families. And today, I am here to talk about Language Access Services, our plan, ensuring fair and timely access to services for all. Our email address is dcyf.languageaccess@dcyf.wa.gov. Today, we will introduce who we are, review language access services and plan, and then learn about your ideas if we were to discuss in a setting with feedback. So the 6 divisions that make up DCYF are juvenile rehabilitation, the Office of Tribal Relations, early learning, partnerships, prevention and services, child welfare, and licensing. And it's important to know that each division has their own unique services they provide, and language access may look different depending on the needs of each division. Language access services, what is it and why should we care? Well, to answer the first question, what are language access services? We describe them as the services agencies use to bridge communication barriers between individuals who cannot read, understand, write, or speak fluently in the host country language. They are also requirements from the 1964 Civil Rights Act, Title VI. And why should we care about language access? Well, at its core, I always say that language access is about our need to be seen. And I don't mean, is my camera working today? Can you see me? I mean, do you see me? Do you hear me? Do you understand me? And do I see you and hear you and understand you? And yes, there are federal and state requirements for language access services, but the need to communicate and to be heard is a core of what it means to be a human and what it means to provide language access services. Did you know that over 500,000 children and adults in Washington state alone speak a primary language other than English? And the map that we see here, produced by the Office of Financial Management, shows the percent in households where English is spoken less than very well and broken down by county. This all shows that there are so many people in our state alone that benefit from these types of services. And it's not just about those who speak English less than very well, but it's about a person's preferred language and empowering them to use the language that they prefer to communicate and be heard. What is a language access plan? Well, we describe it as a living document. The language access plan is a commitment to meaningful, timely, equitable access to all DCYF programs and services. It's a plan that tells how we intend to provide our language access services. And just like language access services, the language access plan is required by federal law. But the important thing to know is that this is just the right thing to do. And providing language access services using a language access plan is a meaningful way to ensure others are heard. Now let's talk about the language access plan in more detail. First, expand our language access program. We have been increasing our language access services team to support our diverse communities, and it consists of coordinators, educators, and specific staff focused on digital access and data analysis. But the most important thing to know is that we are a team here for you and dedicated to language access. Connect with the community. One of the most important parts of our work is developing rapport with subject matter experts, such as government entities, immigrant advocacy groups, community-based organization, and others working in this realm. We need to learn from these individuals to help make updates to the plan through their input of personal, lived experiences provided by their own stories. Data collection and analysis. We need to hire dedicated staff for data analysis and reporting. This includes identifying existing and needed data and identifying the highest demanded languages by division, which can guide priorities in translation. It also means we need to develop means of collecting client feedback about language access immediately following DCYF interactions. The most important thing, again, is being able to use our data in a meaningful way for the betterment of the communities that interact with our agency. We also need to spread the word that services are free. This means to develop and distribute notices that services are available and free to all, how to request these services, and making sure that this notice is translated at least into 15 languages. We also need to include a multilingual footer on our internet site, something different than just a Google Translate, so that we can assure a high quality of language translation. We also need to ensure entry points and front desks have preferred language cards and posters, again, letting all those know who interact with our agency that language access services will be provided to them at no cost. Leadership and staff roles. Identify dual multilingual DCYF staff and how they can support language access is a crucial part of what our team is focused on. We have staff at our agency with the incredible skill set of speaking languages other than English. We need to empower these staff members to help with exploring alternate methods of language access support. And it helps for members of the community to see that their language and their culture is represented among the staff in our agency. Improve staff engagement. Create an internal DCYF's community of practice around language access is something we have been working on and need the support from our internal staff to continue providing information on how to best provide language access services. This means to continually and meaningfully engage with frontline staff to understand needs and drive improvements. For our team, there is an emphasis on supporting frontline staff so that they can provide the best services for the communities that interact with our agency. DCYF training on language access. Work with staff on identifying gaps in training and procedures related to language access. Provide resources and training to ensure success, focusing on cultural change and multiple educational formats. Again, making sure that we're identifying the challenges and the gaps with how we currently provide language access services, and making sure that we're supporting our staff that are working with those communities on the front line. Enable easy language access. Centralizing information on translation and interpreter, both spoken and sign language services, while simplifying the process to receive them. Again, we need to make sure that services are easy to use for both our staff requesting the services and the community members that need to access them. This means exploring opportunities for DCYF staff that are bilingual and multilingual. And we need to work with DCYF staff to create procedures for language access needs. Improving your experience through providing inclusive phone services, improving technology resources, and identifying and translating vital documents. We need to make sure that those who call us on the phone to work with DCYF or access our services can communicate to us in languages other than English. We also, again, need to improve technology resources, especially our internet site, which is a place where many people interact with our agency. We also need to look at the different documents each division is required to use and make sure that they are translated in languages that might be frequently requested by the division or upon the need of certain community groups or individuals. Enhance the complaint process. We take ownership of all language access complaints and concerns while developing an agency-wide complaint and investigative process related to language access. Our specific focus is on language access complaints, and again, making sure that we are updating our technology resources so that the web page can have the complaint form and process available. Continual plan improvement. This includes creating a method for making changes and updates to the language access plan, developing staff and client surveys, identifying best practices for services and where our lack of services exist, monitor changing needs, complaints, and feedback data, and ensuring service contracts include quality assurance and cultural competency. Again, the idea is that the language access plan is a living document and that it will never be perfect or in a final state. And it will always go through improvements and amendments to continue serving the community and DCYF staff in the most pragmatic ways. So, how can you help? Well, we do have a survey, so please take the survey and share it with your community because we want all community voices to be represented. It's available on the screen through a QR code as well as the link below. The survey is available in 9 languages: English, Spanish, Somali, Russian, Chinese Simplified, Vietnamese, Khmer, Samoan, and Korean, and of course can be translated upon request. So again, how to contact us? Please email us at dcyf.languageaccess@dcyf.wa.gov. If you have any feedback you'd like to provide or any questions that you think we can answer, please feel free to reach out to us at any moment. Thank you all so much for joining us today, and we hope you have a great rest of your day.